Texas House Democrats did not show up at the legislature today and instead are in New York, Illinois, and Massachusetts in order to block Republican lawmakers from passing a new U.S. House map that would help the GOP win more winnable seats in the U.S. Congress ahead of the 2026 elections. Because Texas Democrats didn't show up at 3 p.m. today, Republican Governor Greg Abbott, as well as other Republican legislatures, have ordered for their arrests, which would be a civil and not a criminal violation. Democratic governors Kathy Hochul in New York and J.B. Pritzker in Illinois have pledged their support for the Texas Democrats and have said that they would pursue their own redistricting efforts if Texas pushes forward with its plan, and California Governor Gavin Newsom has also said the same thing. Redistricting typically only happens once every decade to coincide with the U.S. Census, but Texas Republicans are pushing for a mid-decade redistricting effort at the direction of President Donald Trump, who wants to squeeze out 5 additional seats from the state in order to help him obtain more seats in the U.S. Congress to help push his agenda ahead of the 2026 election.
Yeah, so because of Trump's telephone call and push, there is an effort to redraw the congressional maps midway through the cycle. This is unusual, but it has happened before in Texas. The goal is very specifically laid out by the president. Find me 5 more Republican seats. And so they have come up with a new map, and that new map will likely give Republicans 5 seats, almost certainly give them 3, even if they don't win all 5. Because of that, Democrats are in a minority, and they don't have a lot of options in terms of fighting it. But one option they do have is to run away and to just leave the state, so that there is no longer a quorum in the House of Representatives, and that makes it hard for this to pass. Now, there are things that the governor is doing. They'll be fined $500 per day while they're gone. The governor has said potentially he's going to see if he can get a court to rule that they vacated their office, which would allow them to have a lower threshold for a quorum and potentially to appoint replacements. I don't know that there is a non-binding legal opinion that says that this is possible. I'm not sure it would pass court muster. The governor is also threatening that you all were raising money on the idea of breaking quorum and leaving the state, and that seems like bribery to him. So he's threatening lots of things to get the Democrats to not do this. It's not clear that any of them are going to work, but it's also not clear that the Democrats can leave for long enough to keep this from happening. It seems likely that the new maps are going to be voted on and put in place. And then the question is, what are the courts going to do? Yeah, it's unlikely. I mean, the idea that they can run out the clock right now, they are in a special session. It's only for 30 days, but the governor can just call another 30-day special session and another one and another one. This isn't the first time this has happened. We've had a number of times where Democrats have left the state in order to keep a quorum from happening. It's generally not an effective political strategy in terms of winning the policy debate. It's not clear that it's an effective messaging strategy, but it seems to be a whole lot more. I think Democrats know eventually they're going to lose. I think really what they're saying is we want to show that we're fighting this tooth and nail as hard as we possibly can, because this is bad, this is rigged, this is not how a democracy should work. And they want to make that case as effectively for as long as they can. But I don't think they really believe they're going to be successful enough to keep this map from getting voted on and getting passed by the Texas House. One, I think it does set a precedent. I do think it especially will encourage Democratic states to look for ways to redistrict. A number of Democratic states, though, do have constitutional issues that they have to get around, state constitutional issues. It makes it harder to do it. Redistricting in Texas is particularly easy to do this, right? Because you can just go through the legislature I think California and New York, there are provisions that make it harder to go and redistrict. So it's not as easy in those states to just say, okay, we control the majority, we're going to redistrict. And so that makes it a real challenge for the Democrats to respond in kind. But one, they can try to respond in kind and really just play the political game and say, we're going to try to get as many seats as we can too. I think the other thing that they could potentially do is try to just make it as big and messy as possible. Because I do think if the courts and other political players are looking and saying, wait, every 2 years are we going to have redistricting so that we're trying to stack the deck so that we can win the next election cycle and control the House or the Senate? That seems really not healthy.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.